Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 69th episode of the Game Packs Podcast. My name is Phil, and co-hosting with me, as always, are Camilo and John. We'll be covering the hottest stories in gaming news this week, and you can watch or listen to the entire podcast on YouTube or your podcast service of choice. This week, we're going to be talking about more controller drift, but this time, we're not going to be talking about Nintendo. We've got news on upcoming video game adaptations for film and TV, and lastly, we are going to make John's dreams come true and talk about Pokemon cards. Alright, so we're going to talk about some controller drift today, but it's with the actual PS5 DualSense, the thing that's brand new. But the thing that I find funny about this, before we get into the story, aren't the people who developed like the haptic feedback the same people who developed the haptic feedback in the Joy-Cons?
Is that true?
And do you think that maybe it's related?
Well, it's not haptic feedback, it's the analog stick.
I know it's the analog stick, but do you think maybe that the HD Rumble is causing all these problems? Anyways, let's get into the story. We all know Sony loves to copy Nintendo, and they're at it again. The DualSense 5 is having drift issues in their joysticks. Okay, so we all have PS5s. Have we experienced this? Anybody on the team? I have not.
I haven't.
I haven't either. It's only been...
But question.
Yeah.
Has anyone played enough to feel like they've actually... Did they just play PS5 for like the first month that it was out and then switch back to your
What are you playing Final Fantasy on?
PS5.
Oh. So you've been playing it a lot.
Yeah, I played a ton. I play my PS5 all the time. And I don't have any drift.
Yeah, I played a lot too. And
it's probably my main, besides my PC, it's my main thing right now.
I have not... I probably play it the least. I mean, I played it, a lot when it first came out. And now I'm just waiting for games. Waiting for more games. I'm waiting for
new games.
PlayStation 5 exclusive games.
Have you beaten Valhalla from start to finish on PS5?
No, because I don't own it on PS5.
Do you have it on Xbox?
I have it on Xbox. But I have not beaten it.
It's mixed reviews, right? People like it, people don't like it.
Yeah, I actually like Immortals: Phoenix Rising a little bit more. I do need to get back into that game. That's a pretty fun game.
Fair enough. So yeah, we don't have drift. Camilo and I play a lot of PlayStation 5, and we don't have drift. I hope I don't get it, but I do actually. Unlike, I didn't used to have two sets of Joy-Cons. But now, since Joy-Con drift was a thing, I had to send mine in, and I bought a second pair, which haven't had drift on them yet. But I already have two PS5 controllers, so if one of them drifts, I do have a backup.
Which is still bad. Like, that still sucks. Like, you don't want to have... These PS5 controllers are not cheap. They're, $70?
But aren't they cheaper than Joy-Cons?
I think they're 70 and Joy-Cons are 80. Yeah.
But you could buy one Joy-Con though. You can't buy half of a PlayStation 5 controller.
I'm sure I'll sell you half a PS5 controller.
So you're paying if you can't fix this, or if Sony is not willing to fix this for you, you're gonna have to spend another $70.
Yeah. So what's the response? Do we have a response from Sony?
I don't think I haven't seen anything.
This is pretty fresh news.
Yeah, I saw an article on IGN on how to fix it. And it was make sure your controller's up to date. It was very general, turn it on and turn it off stuff.
Go to the what is that called when you go and you do you press your sticks and see where it's
calibration.
Oh, the calibration, yeah.
Yeah, the calibration. Did you calibrate it?
Yeah.
Did you turn it off and on again? It's thanks, IGN. Hot tips.
They're just using the tips that they had for the Joy-Con drift, Yeah, it's
but Joy-Con drift was real, man. Link be jumping off cliffs in my game.
So I've been playing 3D World that just came out, and I'm pretty sure my controller has drift because it doesn't feel right.
Your Pro Controller?
No. I've been playing handheld.
Oh, okay.
So I'm Joy-Con.
Joy-Con Drift. Now, there's never been Pro Controller Drift, has there?
Not
that any of us are aware of?
Not that I know of.
I don't know. I haven't heard that.
My Pro Controller has always been awesome.
Yeah, I have a launch
Maybe
Pro
one of my
Controller,
favorites.
and like it's still fine. It's been almost 4 years.
Dang, man. So yeah, I mean, I guess we're not experiencing it. If you guys are experiencing it, definitely let us know. Like, we're super curious to see like who in the community is experiencing it, because it's, I mean, so the PS5 came out 3 months ago. Should we be concerned that this is a long-time issue, or this is going to be a long-term issue?
So have you had? I know when we first got our PS5s. Well, me and Phil, I know for sure, we were having some issues with the PS5 itself, like it crashing and wait, what?
You're like,
no,
well,
it wasn't Shane. It wasn't Shane.
Phil and I got our PlayStations on day one, so maybe we're more.
I just don't remember Cam talking about any issues that he's had with his PS5.
Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah,
I've had one crash once, but that was it.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, mine freezes. I get the error screen.
Still?
Not with Final Fantasy. No, I haven't had it once on Final Fantasy. But that's all I've been playing. I stopped playing Cyberpunk, and then I put it again.
I mean, that could have been Cyberpunk too.
Still doesn't work on my PC. Every week we get to talk about it. Still doesn't work on my PC.
But like, I mean, I know I was having issues at launch with the PS5 just crashing and like.
Yeah, just crashing with Demon's Souls quite a bit.
Yeah,
but that was the game I was playing the most.
Yeah, and then like it closed. I know when I was playing Spider-Man, it closed like randomly. And then like other stuff was weird, like Planet Coaster. I was playing that for a bit, and that would just like shut off my PS5 completely.
Well, in that case, the system's doing you a favor, right?
It's a fun game. It's very relaxing. Okay.
That's all right. I'm just teasing.
But my point is,
yes, sir.
I guess I haven't had those issues recently. I mean, I haven't played it that much, but hopefully that these get fixed. I mean, the PS5 could have been software issues, but the controller drift, that's a hardware issue. So
when you were playing Fortnite and Warzone consistently, what were you playing that on?
My Xbox One X. Because I don't have my PS5 or my Xbox Series X hooked up to streaming. They're more.
I used to have my. We've talked about this in the past. I used to have my PS5 in my living room on my awesome TV, but now I'm playing like a bunch of like PS4 games on stream, so I wanted it back.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm doing. I just have I have my PlayStation and my Xbox, my PlayStation 4 Pro and my Xbox One hooked up for streaming if I want to do that, and then I just have the PS5 and the Xbox Series X for like, personal use.
For enjoyment? For enjoyment,
yeah.
You better hook those up to your stream, though, so you can write them off.
I have my PS5 just hooked up to my stream.
You should hold it up. Go get it right now and hold it up in front of the camera for the podcast. And be like, yes, I need this. I need this for this episode of the podcast so that I can be educated about the PS5. Okay, thank you, IRS. And then go put it back into your...
Are we talking about taxes now? You guys do your taxes yet? I mean, it's still pretty early.
Yeah, I got my thing from my guy. I don't know. I don't think we need to talk.
I'm sorry.
I mean, I'll talk to you at length about how I feel about my taxes and my current tax accountant, but not live on my podcast, on our podcast.
PS5.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope I have two controllers, so I'm lazy, and if they have like you could send it in to get it fixed like Nintendo did, I still won't do it.
I'll definitely do it.
But I don't know. Like, I haven't experienced it, I guess.
I did it with Nintendo. Did you guys do it with Nintendo?
No.
No, I never sent mine in.
Oh, I sent mine in. They came back, and they work perfectly now.
Nintendo also had like oh, go ahead.
I don't even like those were like my original gray ones, and like I don't really even use them anymore. I use like I have the green and yellow now, so like, I didn't really care like a lot.
Green and yellow, like the ones I have.
Oh,
They're
I
like a
can't see you.
neon-y green.
Yeah, they're like neon green, neon yellow.
Here, I'll hold up my. There we go. Then
Are they
when
those
John edits this and uploads it on Monday, you can see which ones I have.
They're the ones that came with the Super Mario Party bundle.
I'm not sure what those are. I bought these separate.
Yeah, I got the neon, like red and blue ones.
This is great for everyone who's listening to the audio podcast, by the way. Hey, look at this, audio podcast listener.
Have you ever seen like the graphic of like how many different Joy-Con combinations you could have?
Dude,
Yeah,
if you're Japanese, it's infinite.
It's pretty insane.
They don't send a ton of them over here.
And apparently
I even think Europe has more, don't they?
Oh, I don't know.
I think we get the least.
But apparently the ones that come with the Mario bundle, like the new Mario Switch, are a different color. Like they're a different red than the other Mario ones.
I saw an Instagram post that showed the 3 reds and how that they're just slightly different. And I'm like, why would you even make them slightly different? Who cares?
They're even like, you know, like when you look in like the Switch UI and it shows you like the color of the Joy-Cons.
Mm-hmm.
It's even programmed. Like
it's programmed to be slightly
really
different.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Nintendo,
All right. Well, let's swing back over to Sony Town.
Yeah.
I guess I'm prepared for the inevitability of this potentially. Like if they do drift, I've got a backup, which I didn't have when it happened on Nintendo. So like I'm set, I guess. I just think there's just like so many issues with like their launch with like how scalpers were going like basically buying everything up. There was scarcity.
I mean,
there
there
was
still is
really
scarcity.
bad. Yeah, I mean, there's still a scarcity, and there's still the what is it, the OS or whatever just like doesn't like, it crashes from time to time. It's like still not super stable. So it's like we're still like not out of the woods with this launch. It was like a pretty rocky launch, and this is just kind of like one more thing that's like, oh yeah, by the way, and the controller is going to stop working up for you. It's like
pretty soon
man,
too, because it's only been out for 3 months.
It's like, I gave you $500 plus tax. Like, can I have something that functions? But I also understand, like, I also want to like give them the benefit of the doubt. It's like, yeah, I gave you $500 plus tax to give me a machine that is like a PC that costs $2,500. So I'm just like, why doesn't this thing work that like, you know, you cheaped out on every single part?
I want to know if this is a widespread issue or if this was just one dude that was like, hey, my controller drifted a little tiny bit. And then like everybody's writing articles about it.
I wouldn't put it past people, because the more time that passes that we've all been on social media, the less people fact check before they just like, oh, check this out. But I would think, and maybe I'm wrong, that IGN would have maybe done some type of research. But, you know.
Hey, they're in the market of clicks, you know?
They are. But whatever. All right, I guess we'll report back. I don't have much else to say about this. We'll report back if our stuff starts drifting.
Yeah.
Like, that's my final thought, is we'll get back to you. But, yeah, I think it would have been great if a lot of these kinks got worked out before, you know, they got shipped out and then subsequently bought up by all the scalpers. Just, you know, little R&D. Choosing the dollar over the consumer. Classic big business
corporation move.
Yeah, I know.
Capitalism. Gross.
Whatever. Capitalism allows me to have all the things that I like. Anyways, before that devolves into a conversation I don't think any of us want to have. Final thoughts on PS5. What do you think? Over under on your controller drifting. Do you think it's going to happen?
I think eventually it will happen.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But I am suspicious that this is like an isolated issue with like a person.
But it's
maybe.
weird. It's weird because like everybody, relates it to Nintendo's Joy-Con. But I've had controllers in the past from like Xbox and stuff, and the sticks just go like they just don't really work that well anymore.
I've had D-pads get like sticky over time.
Yeah.
But like then you just like clean them and then you're fine. I feel like that's like an easier fix.
Didn't you have like a weird PS3 controller, Phil? Was it like the sticks for
something? Yeah, my sticks were sticky. But it was pre-owned. Like I got it at a Goodwill, and I was like, "Oh, I can like fix this." And I opened up the PS3 controller, and the first like iteration of the PS3 controller is just on a piece of plastic. Like all the buttons are just on a piece of plastic, and when you open it, it just explodes. And unless you know what you're doing, it's very hard to put back together. So I have a mostly put back together PS3 controller in like a Ziploc bag. Like, I'm waiting for the day that I have the actual patience to finish putting it back together. But, yeah, I did have a pre-owned PS3 controller that was sticky, but that was definitely on the previous owner. That was not like a, like an issue from the factory. Which is what it sounds like this might be on the PS5 controllers. I don't know. DualSense controller is the best controller ever made. At me. We have more video game adaptations to TV and film. Usually they're terrible. So we got some news relating to some video games in TV and film. The Sonic 2 movie release date was announced. It's going to be April 8th, 2022. I bet you it's going to get delayed. And two huge parts announced for Last of Us series on HBO. Two huge parts. Explain yourself.
Roles.
Oh, casting roles?
Yeah, roles, sorry.
Okay. I thought you were like...
I'm not in the biz. I'm not in the biz,
Part 1
okay?
and Part 2. It's like how they're named. I thought you were just like, oh, yeah, they announced both parts. So they cast two characters, Joel and Ellie. Joel is going to be played by Pedro Pascal from Mandalorian and Wonder Woman 84. And Ellie is going to be played by Bella Ramsey, who's most notably known for her role on Game of Thrones. And then, John, you can tell me, I'm not a Game of Thrones guy. What was her name on Game of Thrones?
It's Lyanna Mormont, but I'm pretty sure she went by like Lady Mormont. She was a little girl, like, she's super young in that show, but that was also like 5 or 6 years ago. So I think she'll be a good age for Ellie right now.
I was Googling Bella Ramsey like 2021, and I was like, yeah, I see it. I can see it.
Yeah. I mean,
and then by the time they get to, I imagine they will do 1 or 2 seasons of part 1, and then like 1 or 2 seasons of part 2.
Yeah.
And I would imagine by the time they get to part 2, she'll be old enough.
Yeah.
I
mean, she's probably. I mean, how old is Ellie in part 2 of Last of Us? Probably like 20.
Yeah, old, right? I think she's like 20. I think she's 14 in the first one, and I think she's like 20 in the second one.
Okay.
Maybe 21. I don't know.
Roundabouts there, early.
I gotta finish 20s. That, man. I was like hooked. I beat 1 and I immediately put in 2, and I was like, yeah, let's go. And then I just feel like just so many other games started coming out. It's just like the story of my life. It's just like other games come out, and then you just get distracted.
And that's a heavy game. Like Last of Us is a heavy game. It's not something you could just like really binge for a long time.
Yeah. I love it though.
No,
I love it.
It's great. Like I love the gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
It's dark and gritty. Like, it's fun.
And just the acting is just amazing. And I just was thinking about when I finished Last of Us Part 1, I was like, this game is old. It was a PS3 game.
Yeah.
And I had beaten it like on my PS5. I was just like, holy crap, I slept on this game for so long and everyone told me to beat it and I was like, whatever, it's probably not that good. And then I finally beat it and I was just like, that is the best story I've ever experienced in a video game. Like, so the dynamic between those two characters is just
what I like about it is, you know, you're following Ellie and Joel for the whole game, and the interactions they have with each other, they're like actual conversations that people would have, not like, oh, we got to go over here to this open spot. Like, they actually talk about things, like, you know, Joel talks about teaching Ellie how to play guitar and stuff, so it's not like very stagnant video game dialogue. Like, they have actual conversations. So that's what I really like about it. About that series.
Their relationship is very much grounded in reality, and that's what I feel like people can, you know, relate to reality. So let's talk about the casting. Before we move on to the Sonic news, how do you feel about Pedro Pascal as Joel?
So he's the hot ticket guy now.
Yeah,
like he's in everything. He's in Wonder Woman. He was in Wonder Woman 1984. He's Mando. Yeah, I mean, it was a big blockbuster movie though. So it's he was also, so both these characters were on Game of Thrones. Pedro
Pascal was on Game of Thrones.
Yeah, he played this character called the Viper. He wasn't on it for very long, but he was on it. And Wonder Woman 1984 was made by Warner Brothers, who is owned by HBO. So they're like internally casting.
Well, they're owned by Warner Media. Warner
whatever.
Media owns HBO.
Whatever. They're all under the same corporate umbrella. Okay?
I'm just trying to drop facts here on Game Pack, okay?
So I think that kind of helped them get the roles, but I mean, I can see it. I don't mind Pedro Pascal as an actor. Mando, you can't really tell like if he's that good because he's behind a mask the whole time.
I mean, he's good in Mando, but like also he's just a reserved dude hidden in armor. Like,
yeah.
I feel like to play Joel, you're going to have a lot of range, and I don't know what he's really like. I mean, I guess he was on Narcos, and I didn't really watch Narcos. So I don't know like how he is, other than the two things I've seen him in, which were The Mandalorian, which I loved, and Wonder Woman 84, which I hated. I hated. Especially him.
But it's a bad. I don't know if that's on him though. Like, I don't know if that's on him. That was a terribly written movie.
It was a terribly written thing, but I also feel like he just overacted the hell out of it. He was just like, I can't. You can't see me right now, but I'm moving my mouth and my face a lot right now.
He was also in The Kingsman, The Golden Circle. Have you ever seen those movies?
I saw the first one.
Well, yeah, he's in the second one, and I enjoyed it.
I've seen anything with Pedro Pascal.
Really? He's in it. He's gonna be in like everything in the near future. So get used to his face.
Yep, he's the new hotness.
So Bella Ramsey, her character on Game of Thrones was awesome. Like one of my favorite characters in that whole show. But I mean, that could have been the way she was written. But I'm hoping she could take Ellie, the role of Ellie, and do the same thing, because I Lady Mormont in Game of Thrones was just an incredible character, and
I think they've got the source material, as long as they don't mess it up, like, and they keep it understated and like everything's kind of reserved and slow paced and intimate. I think if they like keep that vibe with the adaptation, then I think they'll find great success. But I think if they kind of, I don't know, take a lot of creative liberties with their adaptation, I think that it'll it'll piss off everybody who loves The Last of Us, which is like, it's like that's the base. Like,
Cam, you played The Last of Us, right?
Yeah, I played the first. I haven't played the second one yet, but yeah, I played the first one.
Sorry, Phil. Didn't mean to cut you off. To make sure that we're all on the.
No, I was just gonna say that, like, if you look at The Witcher, like, they pulled from the comic, or not the comics, the novels, and they pulled from the video game, and they also cast Superman. What's his name?
Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill, who plays The Witcher,
yeah,
and loves it.
I hope
so.
Have you seen anything about like Pedro saying he loves Last of Us or anything? Or
no, I haven't. I was doing some scrolling on Twitter, but like that's not, that's not the end all be all. Scrolling hashtag The Last of Us is like not.
But you're right. Like Henry Cavill, I haven't really enjoyed him as a character. Before he played Geralt, like I think he did a great job as Geralt.
He crushed it. Did he not crush it?
Yeah.
It was awesome. I love now I'm just like, okay, I love the books. Okay, I love the games. Okay, I love the show. Give me more. Like, they really did a great job. But I mean, this isn't Netflix. It's HBO. And Netflix doesn't like produce like bangers all the time.
Yeah.
But I don't know. HBO, they made The Sopranos. It's like one of my favorite shows of all time.
I do like that it's on HBO. Like they could, because Last of Us is dark. Like the overarching storyline is dark. Like I wonder I don't know if they're planning on doing just like the first, like they're just gonna do the storyline. Oh,
they'll do both. I think they'll do both. I think they'll stretch out number one over 1 or 3 seasons, or 2 or 3 seasons, and then they'll move on. Because that girl needs time to like age up. Because she's like significantly older in the second game, and there's like themes about being a more mature woman in the second game.
Yeah.
So it would be super awkward if they had like a 10-year-old do that. I'm like, HBO, I was in, but now I'm hard out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what type of storyline they could do, because the whole first game there was a, there's a plot line. There's the end of that game. I just don't know if they do the same exact storyline. I don't know if I'm gonna enjoy it, because I'm gonna be like, I already know this storyline.
Right, but a lot of people don't.
That's true.
And if we're doing like parallels of like what they do with The Witcher, what HBO might do with this, like this could be HBO's The Witcher. They follow the books like pretty much to the T. It wasn't really the games; it was the books that they followed. So I wouldn't be surprised if they followed the source material to the T. This is like the only source material they have where The Witcher had other things to pull from. So. I don't know. I think I disagree. I want to see the video game on my TV without having to play it. I don't want to see like some artist's interpretation of the video game.
I mean, there's an argument that you're watching a movie playing those games anyway.
Nah.
No.
Do you say that about any game with cutscenes?
No, I'm just that's not just me. Like it was a big thing when Last of Us Part 2 came out. It was like, you play for 3 minutes and then it's a cutscene.
There are games that are so much more guilty of that like that doesn't even register for me. I just like I don't think that game falls in that category of like games that stop you every 5 seconds. Like, there are games that literally stop you every 5 seconds to give you more exposition. And stuff happens. Like, you'll be walking around. I'm thinking about specifically in the second one. Like, you'll be doing something, and then, like, some characters will run around, and you'll hear some exposition. But, like, that's a split second, and you still sort of feel in control of your character. But there are just other games that, like, freeze, text box. And you're just like, holy crap. Did I buy a video game or a book? Like, can I play, please? I don't feel that way about this franchise. What else? Any final thoughts on casting, really? Do you have feelings about the casting, Cam? You don't really care about
I'll check it out. I don't really know anything about these actors. So
what actors would you rather have cast?
Oh, that's
I was thinking like I mean, I think like Clooney, maybe if he was younger. I was like Clooney could
for
play
like the second one
for Joel, or like I don't know, like I just say DiCaprio for everything, always, all the time, because he's just like my favorite. I think he's a really good actor.
You know who they should? You know who they should get? I don't know if they're good actors like outside of voice acting, but like the people that actually do the voices, like Nolan North. And,
oh yeah. I don't know what he looks like off the top of my head.
He just looks like he looks like a.
Does he look like Joel?
Guy. Not
just
really.
Like a guy?
He looks like a middle-aged guy.
You know what they need to do? Speaking of adaptations and all that fun stuff, what is the guy's name who plays Batman and everything? I want to say Bruce Timm, but that's not correct.
Ben Affleck?
No. The guy who does the voice for Batman.
Oh, the guy that does
everything.
the voice. I have no idea.
Is it Chris something? Or, no.
Batman animated series voice, enter. Kevin Conroy.
Oh.
Kevin Conroy literally he's like old enough now to where he can play like old Batman. And I want to see a live action of like Batman Beyond, where Kevin Conroy, who's like been the voice for a long time, actually step out from behind the microphone and be an actual actor in real life. I think that would be super rad. But
I mean, Joel's like 40 in the first one. Right?
Yeah, Pedro Pascal's 45.
Yeah, so you're looking for somebody in that age range, you know?
Yeah. DiCaprio's not that young anymore.
That's true.
He can grow a beard.
Yeah, you also
Not
need
that
this.
we-
You
not
need the
that well.
scruffy look.
Pedro Pascal, when he grows his beard out, I feel like he could do it. I think they could make him look like Joel.
Yeah, I'll be interested. Joel is like, he's like Southern, isn't he? Like he is like that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
twang.
They definitely are like recasting that because what is Pedro Pascal? He's like American Argentine or something like that. Just like I'm not like anti like recasting that kind of stuff because like if it doesn't really matter to the plot, like it doesn't actually matter to the character. In my personal opinion, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, as long as like he can do the role and like perform the role and not suck.
I'm hoping that he's not like this charismatic. Like I don't see Joel as like a charismatic character.
I don't think he's gonna be. I think he's gonna be really broody.
Okay, I could do.
And I hope he's
brooding.
quiet too. I hope he's broody and quiet. I think I want him to be Mandalorian, just sans mask.
Yeah, without the mask.
Just broody and quiet. All right. So we're chewing on this story with The Last of Us, but we actually have two things that we were going to talk about. So do you guys have anything else you want to say about The Last of Us before we move on? Speak now, forever hold your peace. Your peace has been held. We're moving on to Sonic 2. Oh my gosh. There was like a little teaser thing on Twitter of the new logo and the date. Logo looked so cool.
It was a clip, and they had like an Emerald Hill remix or whatever on it. It was kind of cool.
A clip? What do you mean? It was like a 3-second thing, right? With the logo
Yeah,
and
but
the song.
music playing was like Emerald Hills.
Yeah, it was like super cool. I showed it to Kat, and I was like, "Don't you recognize the music?" And she was like, "No." I was like, "Oh right, my bad, my bad, wrong crowd." But I like how the C still has like the Sonic like little spikies in it, and then the number 2 has the tails on it. Like that was so cool. Got me kind of hyped. Because the ending, I mean, spoilers if you haven't even seen Sonic, Tails shows up at the end. And that was really exciting. I was like, oh, sweet, they're going to make a sequel. Or, they're setting up a sequel. Maybe they won't make one. But they're definitely making one. That movie was a huge success. It was the last movie I saw in theaters before COVID.
Did we say the date yet?
April 8th, 2022, right?
Yep.
Is that what our notes say? Yep.
So almost
April 8th,
a
2022.
little over a year from now.
Yeah, when I first saw it, I was just like, oh my god, that's so soon. And then I was like, oh, wait, that's a 2. That is a 22, not a 21.
Yeah.
I'm so curious, like, what they're going to do. Like, where is it going to take place? Because, the last movie, spoiler warning. If you don't want to know about the last movie, fast forward for 5 minutes. Okay, so in the last movie, Dr. Robotnik is, like, in, like, the mushroom land, and he's gone totally crazy. Tails shows up. So I'm wondering, is this going to be on, and I'm putting air quotes, on Earth? Or is it going to be more, like,
I think it's going to be in the...
Yeah, I think Tails is looking for Sonic because something is going wrong in their world. And
he
their
has
world,
the rings.
right?
Yeah.
He has the rings, doesn't he?
He needs to bring him back.
Sweet. That's what I want.
Yeah, because the beginning of the first Sonic movie, when they're in Emerald Hills, or whatever that was.
Yeah.
The Green Hill Zone. It looked
Hill
awesome.
Zone,
I
yeah.
loved that scene. Like, it looked awesome. I would have enjoyed a whole movie in that setting. Like, in their world.
They were like, nope, we're going to Earth now. We're going to make this like Roger Rabbit. I didn't hate that movie. I mean, we talked about that movie at length for, I think, 90 minutes straight. I liked it. I thought it was a good movie.
And I know...
I mean, for what it was. It wasn't like The Godfather or anything. It was
okay.
Fun.
It was like a fun, campy movie.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Same.
There's... Like, I'm excited for Sonic 2 because, like... It just seems like a fun movie that we kind of need right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't want to watch something serious. I just want to watch one of the most iconic video game characters run around fighting Jim Carrey.
It's true. Yeah, I was talking to Cam off before we started streaming, and I was just like literally just kind of complaining about how just like COVID just puts this level of stress on me that just like, it just doesn't ever go away. And it's just like, we need light-hearted, fun stuff. It's like, granted, this movie, sorry, we usually just talk about games. This movie isn't coming out until hopefully we're all inoculated and we can like go see it in the theaters again. But
Sonic 1 was the last movie I saw in theaters.
Sonic.
I loved that
the
picture.
Sonic reference. Now I want to watch it again.
Is it on anything streaming? Can we watch it? Or you gotta rent it?
Maybe actually HBO might have it. I feel like I've seen it somewhere.
This whole story is a advertisement for HBO. So
yes.
Dear Warner Media, can we have
this is not an ad
a piece? Can we have $1 a piece, please? I already subscribed to HBO Max.
Me too.
I subscribe to all of them, but speaking of taxes, John, we write them off because Kat and I are both in the entertainment industry.
I mean, I feel like you could make that argument.
I mean, we have to. We have to watch the stuff, otherwise, especially Kat.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm not saying that you're doing anything wrong.
I'm just saying she's in development, dude. She needs to see the stuff. What if some executive says, so what did you think about the new Sonic movie? And she can't go, She needed to have seen it.
Professional development. I mean, that's all you need. Yeah.
There you go. Boom. So we talked about that. Let's see. Are you excited for Sonic 2? Sonic 1 was the big movie before everything shut down. Sonic 2 might be the first big release when everything opens back up. Potentially.
Maybe.
Tenet was supposed to be that.
Apparently, they said it's going to take like 4 years. That's what I've heard.
4 years.
Until
for everything.
4 years for the entire world or for our nation?
Well, our nation, pretty much. But everybody getting vaccinated for the vaccinations to work, and
oh boy,
it should be.
It's going to have mutated 4 times by then. Sorry. This is
yeah,
the dark
off-topic.
reality we live in.
I'm excited to see Tails. I actually didn't stay for the end credit scene. I didn't realize there was one.
You didn't realize it was a Marvel movie?
Yeah, I didn't realize it was a Marvel movie.
It was the start of the SCU.
I always wait until like the slow credits roll.
But wasn't it after? I feel like it was after that.
No, it was like when they do like the flashy credits,
mid credits
first, and then
before the actual hardworking
real credits
members get listed, they get
the ones that actually do the work.
The ones that do the work. It's really funny, just the dynamic, like, because I live it. The dynamic between the people who are like the scroll people and then the people who are like above the line people, because like those people do a lot of work like ahead of time, but then when it's like time to make the movie, like there is like some animosity between like all those people who are just in black and white names, like as opposed to like the people who get their names animated with rings. And it's just like, dude, like I worked so hard to make this movie for you. And, like, your name is, like, animated and in 3D. And mine is, like, halfway down this list.
It's the way of the world, man.
I know. That's why you got to get ATL, man. Above the line. That's the goal. Anyways, let's a little sneak peek into how the movie industry works. I'm currently BTL. It's below the line.
I figured.
And that comes from budgets, which I'm sure John knows. Okay. That was a huge sidetrack. We're all excited about it. We're going to see it. We'll probably do a discussion on it in a year's time when it comes out. Right?
Digital only.
What'd you say?
When it comes out, digital only.
Digital only. Yeah, what are they going to do now? They're just going to put things in theaters for 3 weeks and then put them on streaming services?
I don't know. HBO's doing... I think you have, like, the first month that it's released to watch it digitally through HBO Max.
Dude, that caused some drama.
That it?
Yeah, because some of those people who helped, like, make the movies, they were like, hey, so that's not in the contract. Like... This needs to release in theaters. Like, you can't just put it on your streaming service because, like, we're making money off of, like, box office proceeds. And if you don't put it in the box office for, like, the normal amount of time, then we're not making, like, whatever.
Yeah, but they're probably not making, like, they're honestly probably not making any money from the box office now anyway.
Well, I mean, the argument is to be made is that, like, in other countries, like, things are a little bit more opened up and, like, smaller countries have, like, buttoned things up and handled the virus a little bit differently.
Aren't services doing, like, you pay, like, an extra fee to see, like, this specific movie?
Yeah, Disney did that with
HBO Max
Mulan.
is doing it, though.
That's
how Disney's doing it. Like, Disney has the premiere access or whatever. And that completely bombed with Mulan. On Amazon,
I just waited, and I still haven't seen it. Actually,
rent stuff. You could rent.
I
stuff
waited
on Amazon.
and I saw it, and I was like, "I'm glad I didn't pay $30 for this."
Yeah, I think there was more issues with the movie than just it being $30 to rent or whatever.
Oh my god!
But
did you guys see Aladdin?
Yeah, I liked Aladdin.
Aladdin was okay.
Okay, cool. Let's talk about something else because I don't agree with you.
This is let's start a movie podcast now.
Start a movie podcast. Speaking of that, we are a video game podcast, and we should probably move on to talk about other video game stuff. Do you guys have anything else you want to talk about these video game adaptations? Either The Last of Us or Sonic?
I love video game adaptations no matter what.
Sonic was a good one, and I'm excited for the sequel. And I reserve judgment because if Pedro Pascal starts to act like Phil Lord or whatever his name was in the not Phil Lord, what was it? Max Lord. Phil Lord is the director of the Lego movie. Max Lord.
He was the Wishing Stone. He wasn't Max Lord. He was the Wishing Stone.
He was Monkey Paw, the person. Oh, that movie sucked. Anyways, let's talk about some more video games. Okay, so I kind of lied. We're not talking about video games.
Well,
We're talking
video
about
game
something
related.
I know it's also this podcast is just video game adjacent. Where we talked about a controller, we talked about video game adaptations of movies or movie adaptations of video games, and now we're talking about Pokemon cards, which is an offshoot of the Pokemon video game.
Hey,
so
the
literally,
TCG is technically a video game.
wait, what's that? TCG?
The TCG. You can play that online.
Yeah, I've played it. It's okay. It's technically a game. But what we're talking about is not technically a video game. So if you guys don't know already, people are going crazy for Pokemon cards. They're getting scalped. You can't buy them anywhere. It's insane. John knows about this firsthand for sure. McDonald's recently included Pokemon cards in their Happy Meals for the Pokemon 25th anniversary, but good luck finding any. Resellers, aka scalpers, have been buying up all the toys, so the kids can't even get them.
Poor kids.
Poor kids. John, why don't you just take a moment to talk about your Pokemon card journey right now?
Are you serious? I mean, I literally started like 3 weeks ago, and it's such a problem.
Have you spent more on cards than V-Bucks yet?
Oh yeah, probably. I would say so.
All right, fair enough. We don't.
But like, I'm looking to
my
my left, and I just have like unopened boxes of cards that I found.
It's interesting. I've been playing. It's kind of a collectible card game, but it's really just collecting cards. There's an app called like Topps Collect for Marvel, and I collected those Marvel cards when I was a kid. So you can literally just like do like a couple things a day, and you get a bunch of free cards. And I've been collecting Marvel cards, so that's kind of related. Not really. But
are you still into Magic? Weren't you into Magic for a while?
Oh, I love Magic the Gathering as a game. I think it's the best trading card game, like hands down by like a mile. But it is expensive to stay current if you want to be competitive. So yeah, I was in it for a while. Like when I lived in New York, I played, and then for the first couple of years I was in LA, I played for a little bit. But then I just was like, dude, do I really have to keep shelling out this much money to like to keep playing in like tournaments and stuff like that? It's just like it became not fun. And then I just had like binders and binders and binders of Magic cards that just like weren't even usable anymore. And I'm like, this is a waste. So I made a financial decision to no longer play Magic cards and to just enjoy them casually.
So what's interesting about like the Pokemon situation is it's not just Pokemon trading cards that are having like this type of issue. The whole like trading card market has just exploded. Like it's very hard to find Magic the Gathering stuff, Yu-Gi-Oh.
Should I be getting on eBay?
Yeah.
Just offload everything I've got?
Dude, you probably have cards that are worth like a lot of money.
I do.
A decent amount of money.
I know that I do.
Even like baseball cards and stuff, they're huge. Like sports cards are huge, and there's a couple factors that I think are like the main drivers. Like Logan Paul getting into it is a big driver. Gary V's a big sports guy, and those just drive the market up.
Yeah. And it's definitely influencers pushing up the market.
It's tough. Like I go to Target and they literally have no cards. Like they're clean. They're wiped clean by the time I get there.
You know what? There's not always. It's not always bad to be wiped clean.
I know. I know. But you got to leave a little.
I'm an infant.
Later.
However, I did get through the fact that this is the 69th episode without saying anything about it until right now. I'm an infant. All right, so let's jump back to just kind of the topic at hand. So these cards are getting they're getting bought up by resellers. They're getting scalped. What do you guys think about scalpers? Just like on the whole, because I heard something about like scalpers in Great Britain were basically saying that we're an essential part of like the economy of this type of stuff. Like we shouldn't be punished because like we know the value of things. Like do you think
That's such
just like
that's such bull, dude.
yeah, no, me too.
F them scalpers.
But it's
I like how we're all just like editing ourselves, like when we really just want to be a lot more creative with our words.
But like,
I mean,
value
it
is
took
subjective.
me like over a month to get a PlayStation 5.
Yeah,
that's true.
And
and like a value. These cards don't have value unless you assign them value. Like
Right.
a Charizard isn't worth hundreds of dollars. Like it's a piece of cardboard.
Yeah, but if there's only 300 of them, and 400 people want them, then it has.
Yeah, I mean that's the huge issue, like the supply and demand.
Mm-hmm.
So Pokemon released a statement, I think yesterday, just saying that
it was yesterday.
That they're going to up the production of.
Yesterday, by the way, guys, if you're watching on Monday, was February 11th.
Thursday, February 11th. They said that they're going to up the production on the modern sets of cards.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. I mean, just flood the market, right? Just flood the market.
We'll flood the market and the price drops. I mean, that's just how that stuff works.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
But yeah, F them scalpers.
I hate them. I made a video about it back when the SNES Classic was getting scalped.
Oh my god, yeah, the SNES, the NES, Amiibo.
Yeah.
Amiibo was a big, like.
Yeah, I couldn't even
scalpers
get when the NES Classic came out. I couldn't get it until like the second
print.
wave.
Yeah, I got the
Yeah,
second print of the NES.
Yeah.
in 2018.
I got lucky with the first print. I just walked into a GameStop and I was like, "Is that for sale?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm surprised you're the only person who's asked if it's for sale." And I was like, "Yeah, sell it to me." So I luckily got a first print SNES, but then I got like a second print NES.
I feel like they had more SNESs at launch.
Yeah.
The NES
I think so.
was
I think they learned their lesson a little bit from just how horrible the NES launch went.
But that's all you got to do. That's all. You just produce more stock, and you won't have this type of issue.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't like the companies don't care.
Yeah, they're making money. They don't care who they sell it to.
All of their products are getting bought out. So like, why would they care?
I don't think I would care.
Cam, do you know the financials on Pokemon? Like, do you know what percentage the TCG is?
I think it's a lot. There's a big chunk.
That's a big chunk. Big chungus?
Yeah, produce some big Chungus cards.
I think, okay, so we all hate scalpers. Thank God we figured that out.
That was a difficult question,
That was
Took me a while to come up with that one.
Probably the best discussion point we've ever had. So should McDonald's or the Pokemon Company do anything about this, or is it kind of like every man, woman for themselves? So there's the question. I also want to add this too. There's a question that people say, or they're like, why isn't there a cap? Why can I go buy 100 of something when it's in high demand? Like, shouldn't you cap it like 10 per customer?
Well, what I think they, like, McDonald's wasn't ready for this. Like, they weren't expecting grown men to be asking to buy 100 Happy Meals. There are some places have put caps. Some McDonald's have. They've been limiting like 5 to a person.
What do you think about caps, though? Do you think we should have caps?
Yeah.
Like, if I have cash and you have product, why can't I buy all that product?
Well, that's not going to come from like McDonald's. Like, the Pokemon Company would have to like say to McDonald's, like, you can only sell like, I don't know, 5 per customer or something.
Maybe. I feel like they could both make that call.
Well, I'm going based off of you're saying, why would McDonald's do that if the person just has cash? Like, they probably wouldn't want to do that. They probably just want to sell it all.
But if Game Freak says, like, we're giving you this, like, on the condition that you only sell 5 per customer or something like that. Yeah, I guess that would make sense.
Well, how do they police that?
They don't. They super don't.
He's like, no, I go to Target.
Also, you buy 5 things, and then what do you do? Get in the end of the line and then buy 5 more?
Like, I just saw you. Yeah, some minimum wage worker at McDonald's is really going to care if you want to buy toys from the Happy Meal.
I'm just, some people take value in their work depending on.
No, I'm just saying, like, they're not going to risk, like, they could risk their job by, like, annoying a customer.
That's true. They could also risk their job by breaking the policy.
That's true. That's true as well.
I don't know.
Yeah, but I probably also agree that they weren't prepared for the amount of demand.
They were not prepared. Anybody?
It sounded like Star Wars.
No, World of Warcraft. Nope.
Oh.
Illidan from World of Warcraft. Not the right crowd. Maybe somebody watching will get it.
Maybe.
Any World of Warcraft reference I make on this podcast will never be understood.
Did anybody get these?
Let me actually. Do you mind if I ask that question? Did anybody get these?
I did.
Oh, did you, John?
Yeah.
How many did you get?
I got 6. I was able to get 6.
Was that 6 based on that's all that they had, or that's all that they'd give you?
So what I was doing was I was actually ordering the Happy Meals for lunch. They were my lunch. And I ordered 3 a day.
For 2 days?
For 2 days. Yeah.
That's good math.
And then they ran out. And then I couldn't get any more.
What'd you get for your Happy Meal?
I got
Nuggies?
I got 2 burgers and a nuggie.
Nice.
And
Does that come with apples or fries?
You could get apples or fries. And you could get milk with it. So I got like all these little jugs of milk in my fridge right now.
That's disgusting. Sorry.
And
I'm pretty anti-cow milk.
You should have seen the thing that the fries came in. They're tiny. Like you think this.
Is it like the holder that the hash brown comes in?
Yeah, it might even be smaller than that. They were small. And
I don't know. I haven't bought a Happy Meal in a long time. I have gotten McDonald's breakfast from time to time. I'm not gonna totally hate on fast food, and I get In-N-Out like once a month. But yeah,
it was. I regret it each time I bought it and ate it because it was. Ugh. I feel like I paid my dues to get these Pokemon cards.
Yeah, your body definitely did. I mean, that's just more like kind of like, should you be thinking harder about your choices? If you're oh God, I just force fed a bunch of disgusting fast food, like pink slime down my throat.
A lot of people are just like, could I just buy a few?
Yeah, you could just buy.
Don't give me food, just give me the box and one of the cards or whatever.
Yeah, you could just buy it separately. But I ordered through DoorDash plug. I use it all the time. Highly recommend.
So
it doesn't let you just buy the toys.
Are the Pokemon cards the only do you have to say Pokemon cards? Are there other toys you could possibly get?
No, it's just Pokemon cards right now, right?
Well, no, I think they have the Pokemon edition, and then they have a different edition as well.
Yeah, so it's
interesting.
You might get it and feel like it's not even some
it's
other
just
toy.
Barbies.
Yeah.
Because they used to do that. I thought they stopped doing that because of people were taking issue with the
male and female toys.
Yeah, they used to be here's the boy toy, here's the girl toy, and then people were don't you dare put gender on my child, and then they stopped doing that.
This is get a weird political take on.
Yeah, a hot political take on the game pack right now. Don't gender my child's Happy Meal.
Yeah, so I had to choose the Pokemon version.
Mm-hmm.
And then, today I tried to order, and the Pokemon version was just gone.
I'm sorry, John. That must
it said, surprise me or something. I did pull the Pikachu,
so 6,
which is the rarest one.
The $75 Pikachu?
Wait, what? What did you say, Kim?
So that's 24 cards, 6 hollows.
Yeah.
You said 6.
Yep. Yeah, you get a hollow in each pack, and I think there's 26 different cards. They're all the starters, and Pikachu.
So you're not pulling Lapras.
No, you're not
these
pulling
cards.
I have so many Lapras. Oh my god.
I know, it's insane. Every time I'm on Instagram, it's just John posting about Lapras cards.
And they're different Lapras cards.
I'm like, bro, like what? Like, are you literally on eBay just buying up all the Lapras?
It's all Lapras. I don't know why.
I love it.
I still have no Charizards though. It's sad.
All right, so let's wrap this up by asking myself and Camilo, hey, us, are we going to get into the Pokemon card craze? Camilo, you go first.
As much as I love Pokemon, they've always seemed very expensive for the amount of enjoyment you get out of them. So
you're not wrong.
That's why that's a hard pass for me.
Yeah, hard pass for me. Not that I don't want them. I like TCGs. I think they're fun. It's just that I've got to a point in my life where I'm like, I've maxed out my hobbies. You know? Like, I like to watch TV and film, to relax. I love video games. I like to make this stuff with you guys. I do my own stuff, like with Phil Phantastic, and I also play video games just for fun, and it's just like, and I read comic books, so it's like there's not enough time, and also I work. I work for a living, and I have multiple jobs, so it's just like there's just not enough time to be like, yeah, you know what you need, Phil? Pokemon cards. That's what you need. You need to spend your money and your time on Pokemon cards. It's just like, it's not gonna happen. I'm sorry. There's too much stuff going on.
I've been having a lot of fun with them. Just pulling, just the feeling of pulling like a cool card. This is fun.
Yeah, it's that hot rush you get from gambling.
Plus, Plus, I don't play
Roasted.
Fortnite anymore, so that V-Buck money got to go somewhere.
It's true. Exactly. All right. Any more final thoughts on scalpers or Pokemon cards? Final thoughts.
F them scalpers.
F them scalpers. All right. F them, and I wish all the luck to John on his Pokemon card collecting
There's
quest.
a new set coming out next week,
So feel free. John, do you have a P.O. box?
I need to get one. I'm going to get one.
Okay.
soon.
So, Camilo, do you still have your P.O. box?
I do.
So send all your Pokemon cards to my P.O. box or Camilo's P.O. box, and then we'll think about maybe sending them to John. All right, guys, I want to thank you guys, John and Camilo, for co-hosting with me, as always. It was so much fun. And I want to thank the viewers, y'all. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. And don't forget to also subscribe to us on YouTube and ring that notification bell. We've got some cool stuff coming. I like to always tease cool stuff. Actually, we got some cool stuff coming, so ring that notification bell. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram, which we now actually update. Both are at the Game Pack YT. Thanks again for watching.
I will be opening Pokemon packs on the channel.
What's that, John?
I'll be.
That's not what's happening. Nip that in the bud right now. We're not opening Pokemon cards on the Game Pack. But if you want to, you can follow John to see some Pokemon card openings. If you want to see some Kingdom Hearts level 1 runs or some Pokemon Shiny hunts, follow Camilo. If you want to see the Final Fantasy franchise run, follow Phil Phantastic. That's me. All right, guys, thank you so much again for watching. I really, really appreciate it. We all do. Take care, and we'll see you next week.